We zijn wat ons betreft toe aan een korte, kijken of we dit een klein beetje kunnen vangen, wat er vandaag gebeurd is. Even kort nog door het programma heen lopen. We zijn natuurlijk hier begonnen met eerst wat nomadic van. Vervolgens zijn we naar de presentatie van John gegaan. We hebben wat projecten voorbij horen komen vooral, want het was toen nog erg donker in de ruimte. Vervolgens zijn we richting de open space gegaan. En toen ben ik het overzicht compleet verloren. En dat is de bedoeling van een open space, dus dat was oké. Wat mij erg handig lijkt, is om nu eventjes mensen die een initiatief genomen hebben bij de open space, eventjes de microfoon te geven en eventjes kort te delen wat er gebeurd is.
Over the last 2 or 3 weeks we was collecting all sort of invisible learning educations and schools in a Google Docs spreadsheet which we send around to, for example, John Moravec or Peter Spinner and Gio Besselink. And so we collaborated on this spreadsheet about the invisible learning schools. And today we started mapping them on a map. We actually just got the idea to also make a Google map out of it. And that's how we want to make these invisible learnings in the world visible. I think
we started off with a question, but it turned out that the students that are taking the course over here were most present. So we actually had a conversation about what they're doing here and how that's working, which on first sight might seem a bit misplaced because this is a different kind of education in a university, but I think we could take some good things for our own program. And then after a while the conversations broke up into smaller groups and people kind of connected in a free way. So I couldn't participate in all of them, but there seemed to be something happening, and I'm sure we can take good stuff to the next phase of our designing the new program. So thank you for that.
Talk about who we are and what we keeps us busy, kind of. And the funny or the beautiful thing was that we were 4 people all working in education and all trying to not forget to develop ourselves as a teacher or as facilitator of education, and the 3 people in my group were all somehow related to art, and I find it a beautiful, working method in a way to rediscover yourself every time again. So we talked very individually.
Yeah. Well, the problem is where's the head and where's the bottom? Nobody knows. Because you can turn it around, and then you see new things. Yeah, and then you can turn it around again, and you see other things. That's what happens when you have a table with people and talking and writing at the same time, and making schemes and images. I think this is a very valuable way of dialoguing. I'm not going to say what's the content. Very shortly describe what my theme is. The theme is very simple. If you are in your own network, then it's very simple to find your partners for the things that you want to do. I think everybody of us knows how it works. Your communication is very sharp. It's pointed. But there could be other networks which can equally be interesting for you. And now the last few months I've been dazzled by all the people in the networks that are trying to connect each other, just like we're doing now. And I want to elaborate an idea to keep that, to make it more strong, so that we can develop even more beautiful projects in education.
I was really fascinated how discussing this with people gets ideas into something concrete on this short notice. That's fine. I like that as a side effect. That's it. And I'd like to see more of that kind of stuff happening in general education.
Yeah.
I think this is a really good day for education. It was a lot of fun, and let's see if we can implement this kind of fun in education in general. Thank you very much.
So this afternoon we started to think about how we can make it more easy to go from an invisible learning school to higher education. And for me it failed because I couldn't apply for higher education or university because I don't have a diploma. I'm not 21 yet, 21 years. So we have been fantasizing about all kinds of ideas how to improve this. The first thing was that we can do it political, so ask them for opportunities. It would be kind of a long way to do so it's not the favorite one. Then there is an idea to find other ways of financing a student for the first year, because when you graduate your first year, you can go everywhere, college, because you have like this P, we call it P, propedeuse. And the third, what was the third?
Another way of assessing.
Right, the most important one. It's so we invent, or the higher education, the institutes, invent a way of assessing, so you can assess somebody on its qualities, its competentions at the time he or she wants to go studying. Yes. So we will continue by hopefully getting it.
I hate goodbyes, but it kind of gets that feeling, so be real quick, okay? I think we had some really great conversations today. For a lot of folks, it's good to see people again, and sometimes meet for the first time as well, where people also met online. I mean, this whole event started from a Twitter conversation a couple weeks ago, and then it just morphed into this wonderful thing. So I do want to thank everybody that did organize this. I want to thank our hosts at NHL for making this happen. So give them a hand. I mean, when you think about it, for something that is organized in just a couple weeks, this really came together very well, and it happened great. Another thing, though, is that I think that for a lot of us, we already do know each other, and I think that a lot of people have been meeting often, and I think that a community of like-minded people has formed quite well, quite strongly, quite well networked. But there's a need to take what we know invisible learning, make it invisible for the rest of the community. We got to take it out. We got to get the message out that there are options available. There are other pathways out there, and you know what? You can have fun. You can be successful, and it can work. So I want to leave it to you. I want to pass the mic around to anybody who has any ideas on how do we take it next. What are the next steps as we make invisible learning visible within our communities? As we do it ourselves. Yes.
I was gonna say this. Well, we talked about it with Lex also, that we need, these meetings, we had one last month in Nijmegen, but we should have a co-leren meeting like every month, or maybe 2 months, or maybe 2 weeks. But we need to do this more often, and get organized. Have workshops from Nomads or from us or from something else, and bring people together to bring ideas together so they can grow. And so, right now I'm saying this is an invitation next month somewhere else in the country, because we need to take it around the country and maybe into Europe, and maybe we need to go to Minnesota. Yeah. Who wants to